All right, hi everyone. Um, this is the sort of a follow-up vlog to the one that I posted about 3 days ago, and it's just wanted to clarify something about perhaps the attitude that I have about life so far. Right now, I if I can look at myself being, let's say if I look at myself at this very moment when I'm 40, you know, since the fact that I'm going to have a lot less energy and things like that, I might even look back and think, my God, this guy, this 23-year-old, I should have taken jobs left and right, should have just kept getting more cash flow in, because there's no other opportunity to perhaps invest. In other words, get the cash flow compounded. There's really no opportunity for that as an individual. You might think that, and I might think when I'm 40 that aside from that the fact that I want to involve myself in one technical area that has a lot of details to it, but still time consuming, implies that I'm inevitably not going to compound my cash flow. So because I wouldn't be involved in any business, or I could even tell myself that I should be involved in a businesses as soon as I possibly can, regardless of whether I have the experience, which is what I'm basically doing right now. Is one of my possible plans that I have is to get so good at structural engineering that I will be able to create my own business, get a PESE, create my own business, and then step forward with it, and hopefully it grows greatly, because infrastructure, everyone's always investing in that. But it may not work that way because of the hurdle involved with the technical aspect. In other words, it may not get good enough by a certain age, such that by that time I'll just not have any energy left to want to do that. And so by the time I'm 40, that may happen. And a lot of people have regrets of their 20s. They say, I assume this, I believe that, and I'm sure I'm going to say the same thing. But right now, I'm doing what I know I can control, or I'm involving myself in what I know I can control. For example, control what I learn. So if I'm going to learn about investment, I'll just keep reading the book and be stimulated by that, and try to understand what it means, actually understand what it means, rather than make it a passive thing, which is what most people do, as far as I'm concerned. Probably because they get comforted by it. I'm not necessarily comforted by it, although it does release serotonin when I read these things about money. It's one of the feelings, but I actually try to understand what he's talking about, and possibilities. Try to see, okay, well, how would I make this decision? How can this be applied to my life, if ever? And so I do that with the finance books. But right now, in the near future, because I'm going to be working so much with technical stuff, I'm going to be putting finance stuff away really fast. So most likely really fast. So I only have this summer basically to get it all in, and when I don't have that time, I might on vacations I might read it, but otherwise I'm gonna have to find a way to just get that one strategy in and see if it's gonna work, and then just like once a week check in with someone like a fiduciary and ask them about how it's doing. And that's all I'm basically going to be able to do as far as finances go. The rest of it, here's the point of the video, is I'm actually going to the rest of my time off is I'm going to read a bunch of research papers and get ideas for inventions. I don't know if any of them is going to come to fruition, but when it comes to creating inventions, you have to be very disciplined, which I'm already doing as far as the technical aspect. because I go to UC Berkeley, and I mean, that's not the fact that I go to Berkeley, but that I'm actually trying my hardest to develop skills that they're giving to you in the classes, so that it's not just the class you pass. Instead, I prefer for it to connect with what I like. So because it's a passion of mine. Not to say that passion is useful, but it is a passion of mine always. But it is a passion of mine, and the fact that it's a passion means that I'm more focused on it. That's basically what it means. I'm more focused on it. Not necessarily that it's useful, but that I'm more focused on it. And some people become passionateless about these sorts of things and say, I mean, I can see it on their face, and when I talk to them, they're very, when you're in the university, a lot of them are very, what do they call that? They have this they have this, I don't know why I can't think of the word, but it basically describes you as being, oh, there we go, prestigious. So very prestigious, and they have this grandiloquent sense to them, and it's basically just this diligence about them and let's see, what's the word for it? Let's see. So let's see. I don't know. Yeah. So they're basically just that way. They're very diligent and obedient, sort of sycophantic a little. They fawn their professors. And, I mean, these are the list goes on as far as the grandiloquency goes. Obsequent, I guess you could say that too. Basically, anything related to sort of like overly exuberant, I guess, and very. It's like they feel like they have to be. Most of the students there feel like they have to fulfill some kind of status, in other words, and they're always like too nice, Yeah.
Can I come in?
Wait a minute.
Come into my own room?
Well, I don't have a room, so.